British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe has hatched a sneaky plan to skip the country and cheat the taxman out of a staggering sum. The pro-Brexit rich lister and CEO of chemicals giant Ineos allegedly plans to move to Monaco to avoid paying a $7 billion tax bill. That's according to the UK Labour Party, which has publicly slammed Mr. Ratcliffe for devising the tax avoidance plan. Australia being overrun by China. 20-hour flight saves Aussie $85,000. Man's perfect revenge after $64,000 mistake. According to the UK Guardian, Ineos has enlisted the help of tax gurus at PricewaterhouseCoopers to build a new company structure that would slash its tax bill on global revenues. The 66-year-old Mr. Ratcliffe, who was named as Britain's richest man in 2018, will apparently make the move to the tiny European principality and known tax haven along with senior executives Andy Curry and John Rees. The Sunday Times reports the move would allow the men to share up to £10 billion, $18 billion between them tax-free, and cost the British Treasury up to £4 billion, $7 billion. However, the company will reportedly remain in London. Labour MP John McDonnell appealed for Mr. Ratcliffe and those of his ilk to make your contribution like the rest of us, adding the greed of super-rich tax avoiders seemed to have no bounds. This is a super-rich person, he said. According to The Guardian, we're not talking about someone who's on his uppers, a British term for someone extremely short of money, for every penny that's avoided in this way. In taxation, what does that mean? It means the NHS doesn't treat patients, it means our children don't get the full investment in their education, and it means less safety on our streets. Mr. Ratcliffe received a knighthood just last year for services to business and investment, and Labour chairwoman of the Public Accounts Committee Meg Hillier said Mr. Ratcliffe was sticking two fingers up at his country. The revelations come hot on the heels of news fellow rich lister and Brexit supporter Sir James Dyson announced plans to move his groundbreaking vacuum cleaner company to Singapore. Mr. Ratcliffe, who grew up in a council house before founding Ineos in 1998, is now used to the high life with 2 yachts and a string of properties to his name, including one in Monaco. The father of 3's super yacht boasts a wine cellar, tennis court, football pitch and helipad, and in 2017 he snapped up Swiss Super League football club FC Lausanne Sport. Ineos has a staff base of more than 18,500 people at 181 sites over 22 countries around the world. While Ineos did not comment on its founder's alleged move, it told the Sunday Times the company now had more than 10 major projects, including both acquisitions and new builds, worth over $1 billion each. Ineos and its owners always fully adhere to all tax legislation and consistently use external professionals to verify that all procedures are correct and compliant, a company spokesperson said. However, tax avoidance is nothing new for Mr. Ratcliffe. In 2010, he moved Ineos's head office from England to Switzerland, a move that slashed the company's tax bill by $180 million a year, before moving the firm back to London in 2015. Continue the conversation at Kerry_Alexis, alexis.kerry@news.com.au.